If I had to take a wild guess about you, I'd say you're the strong one. You're the one who holds it together at funerals while everyone else falls apart. You're the one who packs your bags and leaves a relationship without making a scene, without begging, without a single backward glance. Even physically, when you get hurt, when you're in pain, you just wince, maybe grit your teeth, and you keep moving. People look at you and they shower you with compliments. They call you stoic, they call you rock solid. Or the one that probably stings the most, they say you are an old soul. They think you were born this way. They think you're just built different, impervious to sadness, like you're made of Teflon. But that's not it, is it? The truth is, you feel everything. You feel the grief like a heavy stone sitting in your chest. You feel the anger boiling in your gut like acid. You want to scream. You want to break something. You want to collapse. But there is a switch inside you, a literal disconnect in your throat that has been flipped to off. Every time the tears well up, your body automatically locks down. Your throat tightens, your chest constricts, but your eyes stay desert dry. You can't cry, not because you don't want to, but because you physically can't. And late at night, when the silence gets too loud, that inability to release terrifies you more than the sadness itself. You start to wonder, is something broken inside me? Am I a monster? Am I a sociopath? Let me stop you right there. The answer is no. Let me tell you the truth about your silence. The fact that you cannot cry is not a character flaw. It is not a defect. It is a survival strategy, a damn good one. You aren't broken. You have been rewired. That stoicism you hate so much, that's not a personality trait. That is a callus. It is a thick, heavy suit of armor that the child inside you had to forge in the fires of a very difficult past. Think back, way back. I'm willing to bet that there was a time when you did cry. But what happened when you did? Maybe you were yelled at. Stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about. Maybe you were mocked. Oh, look at the big baby. Or maybe, and this is the most painful one, your tears were met with absolute indifference. You cried for help and nobody came. You cried until your lungs burned, and the only thing that answered you was the silence of an empty room. When that happens enough times, a developing brain learns a very harsh, very logical lesson. Crying does not solve problems. Crying only brings danger, shame, or isolation. So, to protect you from the crushing pain of abandonment, your brain decided to cut the wire. It disabled the function. It turned you into a warrior who never sheds a tear. Not to make you cool, but to keep you safe. Let's pop the hood and look at the neuroscience here. This isn't just philosophy, this is biology. Your nervous system operates on something called the polyvagal theory. Usually, when we get stressed, we have two main modes. One is fight or fright, heart racing, adrenaline pumping. The other is social engagement, looking for connection, asking for help. Crying is the ultimate signal for social engagement. It's a biological distress beacon that says, I am hurt, please hold me. But for children who grow up with emotional neglect, that beacon is broken. When you send out a distress signal and nobody answers, your nervous system gets overwhelmed. It can't stay in panic mode forever. That would burn too many calories. It would kill you. So, your brain initiates the nuclear option. It activates the dorsal vagal shutdown. Think of it like a circuit breaker in your house. When the voltage gets too high and threatens to burn down the whole house, the breaker trips. Click. Everything goes dark. This is often called the freeze response. Your heart rate drops, your facial muscles go slack. That's why people think you look cold or arrogant. And crucially, your lacrimal glands, your tear ducts, are chemically inhibited. Your body floods your system with endogenous opioids, natural painkillers to numb the emotional agony. That is why in moments of tragedy, you don't feel sad. You feel numb. You feel empty. You aren't unfeeling, you are physically anesthetized. You are in a biological state of feigning death. To really visualize this, imagine you are a high-performance laptop. A normal laptop has a cooling fan. When the processor works hard and gets hot, the fan spins up, the heat vents out, and the machine keeps running. But you are a laptop that was forced to operate in a sandstorm. The environment you grew up in was harsh, it was gritty. If you ran your fan in that environment, you wouldn't just vent heat, you would suck in dust and sand that would destroy your internal components. So your operating system wrote a new line of code. Instead of venting the heat out, you learned to contain it. You built internal heat sinks made of steel and concrete. On the outside, you are cool to the touch, but on the inside, your CPU is running at 200 degrees. You are redlining. You're still working, you're still meeting deadlines, paying bills, listening to your friends' problems, but you are constantly running at the edge of a thermal shutdown. The price of not crying is that you have to spend a massive amount of energy just to keep that internal nuclear reactor from melting down. That is why you are always so tired, even when you haven't done anything physically demanding. You are exhausted from holding back the flood. Now, you might ask, why would evolution design us this way? Why is Mother Nature so cruel? Let's rewind the clock 50,000 years. You are a small child in a cave. Outside, there are predators, wolves, saber-toothed cats. In nature, a baby's cry is a double-edged sword. It summons the mother, yes, but it also summons the wolf. If your caregivers are safe and protective, crying is good. But if your caregiver is the source of the danger, if they are volatile, abusive, or neglectful, or if the environment is simply too dangerous to make a sound, then silence becomes the ultimate survival skill. The child who cries when the predator is near gets eaten. The child who learns to swallow their fear, to go completely still, to become invisible, that child survives to see the morning. The trait you hate in yourself today, that inability to break down, is the very thing that kept you alive back then. It is an ancient gift passed down through your DNA. It is a testament to your resilience. You aren't weak. You are an expert survivalist. So where do we go from here? The goal isn't to force yourself to cry tomorrow. Don't go watch Schindler's List or listen to sad music just to try and wring a tear out of your eye. Your nervous system has been frozen for a long time. If you hit ice with a hammer, it doesn't melt, it shatters. We need to melt the ice, and for that, you need warmth, not force. You need to establish safety. Your brain needs to learn that the war is over. The child inside you needs to know that the predators are gone. Start small. Find a safe space. Maybe it's in your car after work. Maybe it's in the shower. Just sit there and tell your body, I'm here. We are safe. You don't have to hold the wall up right now. Maybe the tears won't come. That's okay. Just try to feel the tightness in your chest loosen just a fraction of an inch. Allow yourself to feel tired without judging yourself for being lazy. That is the beginning of the thaw. And one day, it might be weeks from now, it might be years, you'll be watching a commercial or petting a dog or watching a sunset, and a single drop will fall. It might burn, it might feel foreign, but when it happens, don't wipe it away. Welcome it. Because that tear isn't a sign that you're breaking down. It's a sign that the permafrost is finally melting. It's a sign that after all these years of surviving, you are finally safe enough to start living. You've held it together long enough. It's okay to let go now.